You stir into consciousness. Heat and blazing sunlight, the slow rumble of a wagon, heavy chains upon your limbs. You groan, your mouth dry, your stomach empty. As your eyes focus, you can see your companions, fellow survivors of the brutal pirate attack, crushed together with you upon the floor of the rolling wagon. You remember little since then, except vowing to your newfound friends that you would stick together, come what may. You are relieved to see that they are still alive. But where are you? I'm talking about this new choose-your-own-adventure book, Legendary Kingdoms, The Valley of the Bones. Now, this is The Valley of Bones. This is book 1 from Spider-Man Games. It is a very, very advanced choose-your-own-adventure book. I absolutely adore it. It's filled with lots of imagery. There's mercantile systems, there's army systems, there's ship systems, there's magic systems. This really is an amazing book. I will be reading through some of the adventures in my podcast, which my Patreons get every week, as we explore this amazing book. Really nice production quality coming through from Spider-Man Games. You can find the link to go and get your own copy down below. I have a deep respect for choose-your-own-adventure games, and we're going to talk about that in today's video. Legendary Kingdoms, The Valley of Bones, written by Oliver Hume. I suggest you have a look if you enjoy playing with yourself. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of How to Be a Great GM. My name is Guy, and today we are looking with play with yourself. What is that about? It is a method in which you might be able to design your adventures in a better way, or at least to anticipate what your players might be considering doing, or, and this is the usual case, is where you simply run through your idea and make it better. This is a technique that I use all the time. People think I'm completely crazy when I'm wandering around the streets of Tokyo, mumbling to myself. It is because, quite frankly, I am playing with myself. Yes. So we're going to talk about ideas and concepts. How do we work these things out? How do we play with them? We're going to talk about scenarios and voices. We're going to look at voices, and then we're going to look at building it. So that's the simple steps. Are they simple? Who knows? So ideas and concepts. The sentence. Now, if you have not learned what the sentence yet is on this channel, the sentence is somebody wants something badly by a specific time and is having difficulty getting it using a certain method because of something or someone. Very complicated sentence. If you want that broken down, our website has it, www.greatgamemaster.com, has got the template on it where it talks about the sentence and breaks it down for you so you can use it in your own games. So you come up with your sentence. You create the desire, the need, the want that the characters might have, or that your nemesis, your villain, might have. They want to steal the orb of power before the full moon so they can use it to sacrifice a virgin to their dark gods and open up a giant portal, but they're having difficulty doing that by hiring petty thieves because the heroes are on their trail. Alternatively, the heroes want to get something very precious back. They're having difficulty basically using themselves because where the thing is unknown to them and they have no way of finding out, whatever. So you can certainly use the sentence as the basis for your idea. Once you've got that sentence, park it, use it, keep it, pressure, keep it tender. You can also use yes, but, no, and. The lords of evil want to get this orb. Yes, but they can't get it because it's protected by a very elite group of paladins. Yes, but they are unable to defeat the paladins because the paladins are super powerful. Yes, but they can poison the paladins, and that is exactly what they're going to do. You can use the yes, but, no, and solution for everything. Yes, they can poison the paladins, but the paladins are immune to it. No, they cannot murder the assassins, and when they try, they fail. So the yes, but, no, and allows you to explore a topic in either direction. So you go yes, but, or no, and. You choose one of the two and you apply it to the situation, and you continue to build. You freeform build this entire scenario. Again, as with the sentence, you take this method and you park it and keep it close. The final one, and this one is a very common one, is a cool scene. Cool scene. Fighting on the back of a dying dragon as it plunges into a chasm filled with lava. That's cool. How do I get there? Well, now you reverse engineer it. Okay, well, we need the dragon. We need them to be able to ride on the dragon. How do they get to ride on the dragon? Well, they encounter the dragon rider. Maybe they need to encounter the dragon rider. Okay, how do they get to the dragon rider? The dragon rider is delivering something from somewhere to somewhere, and they need to steal whatever it is that's being delivered. And there's a group of bounty hunters that are trying to hunt the dragon at the same time. Okay, good. Again, however you want to come up with your idea, whatever of the three systems you're going to be using, keep them safe. Park them. Think about them. Don't completely write them out yet. Just keep enough in the mind that you can remember where you're going. Now we start to play with ourselves. Our opening scenario. Okay, good. So we want the dragon rider. We want to steal the thing from the dragon rider. So our opening scene should be something that's dramatic, but preferably in the opposite direction. Aha! What if our players were in an arena fighting a small dragon? It's dramatic, it's epic, it could be fun, and when I then introduce the giant dragon that they're going to be fighting on the back of, it's even more epic. Okay, great. That's my opening scenario. My dragon rider needs to be present, perhaps, because perhaps this young dragon that they're fighting against was the one, was from an egg that their big dragon hatched, or laid, I suppose, and so now they want revenge on the arena. And that's what they need to do. Maybe this person abducts the princess who controls the arena to get revenge. Aha, now we're starting to get a story from our cool scene. With our scenario of murdering the paladins to get the Orb of Power, the opening sequence might be a parade of the paladins, where we get to see them publicly drinking poison to prove how loyal they are to the god who owns this Orb of Power that they are protecting. One of them dies. Why? Well, they drank the poison. They're supposed to be immune to it. But it's a new type of poison that's been developed. The PCs are now on that journey. I like to voice it. I like to come up with a voice. So the dragon rider, he might speak like this so that everything can be, I am dragon rider. I am dragon rider. Maybe it could be something like that. It could be perhaps that the necromancer has a high-pitched voice and will control the world using his dark forces once he has got the crystal. I like to do voices. I like my NPCs to have voices, and oftentimes I will then monologue it. Now, in order to get the orb, we need to take care of the paladins. Poison won't work because the paladins are immune to poison, unless it isn't a poison at all, but it's actually an acid. I did not have the acid idea before I started this video. Trust me, this is all being made up as we go. The voicing of it, just talking through the villain's plan, oftentimes allows you to see where you should be going. Oh, yeah. Instead of poison, it's acid. So someone swapped out the poison vials with acid vials. Oh, paladins are not immune to acid. Oh, that's devious, that is. Oh, that gives us an investigation. That gives us a thwarting adventure. Let's go and do it. So I voice it oftentimes. I am the princess of the land, and I want to have a grand arena where I'll invite the greatest champions to fight a giant lizard dragon thing. Well, Your Majesty, we couldn't get an actual dragon. They're a little bit bigger than the arena is. So we got an egg, which we hatched, and so it's a vicious-looking beast. We can staple some horns onto it or something. Work out these scenarios. Play with it in your mind by talking through these things and then explore it. Okay, so they fight this dragon in the arena. They defeat the dragon in the arena. At the same time, a gigantic dragon flies over, I am Dragon Rider, and steals the princess. The arena is in absolute chaos. They think that this is part of the show. The arena master, the king, comes rushing up to the PCs. You've just defeated the dragon. Whelp. Would you take care of the big one? It's stolen my daughter. You must retrieve it, please. And the party goes, no, not really. I'll give you this magic sword of dragon slaying if you defeat it. Well, before, actually, because it would be more useful. And I'll give you 10,000 gold pieces. Oh, now so explore. How are you going to get the party to go on the adventure in the first place? What are you going to offer them? What are you going to tempt them with? What are you going to treat them with? For me, this is where you start to really get into the development of that storyline. Play the part of the PCs. Now, we don't want to go... the dragon's too high level for us. We don't want to do the dragon quest because it's too high level. That's a major stumbling block. The king... No, the vizier. I know a thing or two about dragons. That particular one is of a genus that was bred specifically as a mount. It's got about as much intelligence as a horse. So if you can defeat a horse, you can defeat the dragon. No, the biggest challenge that you have to defeat is the dragon rider. I am dragon rider. You have to defeat him. He is the one that controls the beast. Once he's dead, the beast will become basically just a large lizard. Yes, it can breathe fire. Here's a potion of fire breathing. So work out stumbling blocks. Work out situations that might cause the players to pause and think about it. Think about their characters. Oh, their characters are actually motivated by this or that. Let me tweak the pot. Let me add this to the pot. So by exploring it, you can then build it. And this is where you can then start playing it. All right, so I have my arena. They're fighting the whelp. What if they kill the whelp, or they don't kill the whelp, they control the whelp? Would I am Dragon Rider still attack the princess? Yes, because the whelp has been stolen. Okay. What if they don't go on the mission? That's absolutely fine. What other adventures could I get them to get to the point where they end up in a cave that has I am Dragon Rider and the dragon in it, so that they can end up fighting I am Dragon Rider on the back of the dragon over the chasm of lava? Because ultimately you want to get them to where you originally planned it. The necromancer with the potions of acid, if they don't bite, if they don't follow through on that one, well, the next time they take a drink of healing potion or something along those lines, it turns into acid. The necromancer's cast a giant spell, which has turned all potions into acid, or all liquid into acid. That's a hell of a spell, but if you're trying to get the orb of power for your dark god, you'll go to pretty far lengths. So play it through in your head. Try and figure out what's going to be happening. Try and figure out what the cool moments are. If they're fighting a dragon whelp, they shouldn't have to fight another big creature in the next combat encounter. It should be lots of small creatures to, again, balance it out, to make it interesting. You're wanting to stat it out in terms of adding your monsters and things into there. Try and play around with that. So, okay, they fought a big dragon to begin with. Then we want some little ones. Then we want some challenges, etc., etc., etc. And then they're going to fight the big one at the end. I knew I was going to make a mistake at some point. Unpack cool add-ons. Okay, so they're going to find the eggs, the unhatched eggs of this dragon. Maybe. The necromancer has a book of very powerful spells which they could possibly find. Maybe the necromancer has an assistant who is unhappy. Maybe... So look for cool add-ons. Look for cool things that you can flesh out this adventure with, so it's not just linear. If you look at the previous videos that I released a couple of weeks ago, we were using Dungeon Fog to create a 5-room dungeon, and I realized someone pointed out that there's actually a method called the 5-step dungeon, which I didn't know about. Use those kinds of things to then unpack cool add-ons. Again, though, it's about playing this in your head. Don't write it down and then sit back and go, that's fine. Get into character. It will help you during the actual game itself to come up with better dialogue because you've already been this character. It's not like you're putting them on for the first time. And yes, it does seem weird to be wandering down going, I shall rule the world one day. Oh, shit. Yes, so there are times when one has to watch these things that one says in public, but it does make for some entertaining moments. And if you're driving to work, commuting by train to school, or heading shopping, or whilst shopping for that matter, just run these through your head and you'll be amazed at what you discover. Now, test it. Test it. I always like to test these things. So you go, all right, so they're going to have the arena battle, and they're going to have the this, then they're going to have the that, and they're going to have the next thing. What if they skip that? How do they get there? What if they skip that? How do they get there? What if they go completely off track? How do I bring them back? So test it all the time. And then check the PC backgrounds. There's nothing more rewarding than having this cool idea of a dragon fight. Who is I Am Dragon Rider? None other than the PC's long-lost friend Ralph, who they wrote into their backstory very briefly. It doesn't matter. You can use the PC backgrounds, incorporate them. It makes the story feel so much stronger. It makes the PC sit back and go, you know, this person is an absolute brilliant GM. They are a great GM. They really are, because they're using all of the tools that we're giving them to make this really fun game. So playing with yourself allows you to explore, to develop, to build, to prepare, without having to write down vast amounts of things. Once you've got the concept in your head, then you can write it down and commit it to paper and remember the voices and the things like that. But for me, it's always about thinking it through and trying to think it through and taking time to think it through as well. That's something that we don't necessarily do in our frenetic lives. So think about that. Until next time, however, hit the like button if you like the video, hit the subscribe button if you want to subscribe to the channel, and if you want to support the channel in terms of things like support, the Patreon game, the game, I suppose, of Patreon. We have a Patreon account where I will be running through the Valley of Bones, the Legendary Kingdoms, on the podcast that you can get hold of. That's only $3 a month, and you get 4 podcasts a month. Look at us there, links down below, or alternatively, just hit that subscribe button. Subscriber numbers are useful in terms of helping the channel find support from sponsors such as Legendary Kingdoms and the like, so you can help by just doing that. Until next time, however, I wish you and yours the very happiest of gaming.